Hello, and welcome back to Poetry Lockdown, day 314. Um, so I've said many times, one of the reasons I love Poetry Lockdown is I get to put poems in conversation with each other. That sort of dialogue between poems is it's just fun. And I think it's one of the reasons I love writing poetry as well, because I feel like I get to enter into that larger conversation. Nerding out on Miller Williams is what I'm going to do today. Many of you enjoyed that poem he wrote, The Curator, which is an incredible historical poem, a great narrative poem, true story as well, which I learned thanks Chuck Anthony. Um, if you haven't checked it out, totally do so. I think I mentioned in that video, which is like 3 weeks ago, that that poet Miller Williams was the inaugural poet for Clinton's second inauguration, and the poem that he wrote and read for that occasion is really powerful. And there's something in Amanda Gorman's poem that I was just listening to last week that seemed like it was kind of talking to that poem. So I thought it'd be cool to read Miller Williams' poem for Poetry Lockdown today. So with that introduction, I think this was 97. I think that would have been the second inaugural. So 24 years ago. Wow. Of History and Hope by Miller Williams. We have memorized America, how it was born and who we have been and where. In ceremonies and silence, we say the words, telling the stories, singing the old songs. We like the places they take us. Mostly we do. The great and all the anonymous dead are there. We know the sound of all the sounds we brought. The rich taste of it is on our tongues. But where are we going to be, and why, and who? The disenfranchised dead want to know. We mean to be the people we meant to be, to keep on going where we meant to go. But how do we fashion the future? Who can say how except in the minds of those who call it now? The children. The children. And how does our garden grow? With waving hands, oh, rarely in a row, and flowering faces and brambles that we can no longer allow. Who were many people coming together cannot become one people falling apart. Who dreamed for every child an even chance cannot let luck alone turn doorknobs or not. Whose law was never so much of the hand as the head cannot let chaos make its way to the heart. Who have seen learning struggle from teacher to child cannot let ignorance spread itself like rot. We know what we have done and what we have said, and how we have grown degree by slow degree, believing ourselves toward all we have tried to become, just and compassionate, equal, able, and free. All this is in the hands of children, eyes already set on a land we never can visit. It isn't there yet. But looking through their eyes, we can see what our long gift to them may come to be. If we can truly remember, they will not forget. Terrific poem, yeah? Miller Williams. And so just to kind of riff on the Amanda Gorman Miller Williams connection, at least for me, the closing lines of Gorman's poem, which are so strong. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there's always light if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. So that like idea of seeing and being united in Gorman's poem, the close of her poem, to me really rhymes with the rhymes at the end of Miller Williams' poem. So forgive me for repeating, but I like doing that. The closing stanza, all this in the hands of children, eyes already set on land we never can visit, isn't there yet. But looking through their eyes, the children's eyes, we can see what our long gift to them may come to be. if we can truly remember, they will not forget. So, I mean, there's hopefulness obviously in both of those inaugural poems, but I think getting to Williams' poem, which I feature here, one of the things that I love about it is it's doing something that I think a lot of the poems that I've been talking about in the lockdown are doing, which is just sort of like you lay the things out there, right? The history of the United States of America is in many ways not a cause for hope, right? It's just not, right? And he acknowledges like all of the things that, the ways that in which we're believing ourselves toward all we have tried to become. Yeah, we've got these ideals that we've believed in, but that's believing is really not that much of an action. And this poem acknowledges the failings. And there's something about remembering and naming those failings, at least that's what I get from this closing stanza, that allows there to be hope. If you're going to have something that the future generation can hold on to, it has to be named and remembered accurately and well. And I think that's what this poem is enacting for me. So I find that to be hopeful, but also real at the same time. And I don't think you have hope if you don't have reality. So thanks, Miller Williams, for this poem. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a great Tuesday and a great rest of your week. Peace.